Good morning and welcome to Texas Archery. We are going to be shooting with Buck Wild Bowhunter Archery Club this morning, a NFAA style 300 round. And I'm playing with some new equipment, so bear with me. I'm sure I'll make plenty of mistakes along the way, but this is round one. Never tried this perspective of streaming before for a tournament, so y'all just hang in there with us, and I hope you enjoy the shoot. So now I'm going to switch on over here to give you a look downstream at the scoreboard. Target bells. All right, we're going to start the first practice in here in just a few minutes. Everyone will get to put 5 arrows down range to get warmed up. We have a total of 15 archers shooting this morning, so it's going to be a good event. That's the largest number of archers we've had at one time here from a club organized tournament perspective. So, like I said, it's going to be a good one. So while the archers are getting warmed up here in this first practice, and let's talk about targets and scoring just a little bit. You'll notice there are two types of targets downrange. We have the 5 spot target there, where scoring will be the outer rings will be counted as 4, the inner white rings will be counted as 5, with the innermost section counted as an X, also equal to 5 points, but used as tiebreakers. Now we also have a 40 centimeter single spot target that is being utilized. This is an option the archers have, and that scoring is going to be 1 through 5, again with the innermost X or innermost circle being an X, counting as 5 points and used as a tiebreaker. So you'll have 1 through 5 on a single spot target, and you will have 4 on the first 2 rings of a 5 spot and 5 on the inner rings of a 5 spot target. All right, so that was the first of 2 practice rounds in this particular event format. We're going to be kicking off the official one after the second practice round, coming up here in just a moment. As you can see, the archers are making their way back to the firing line, getting organized and getting set to start here in just another few minutes. Mhm. All right, this is the beginning of the second practice in. So archers are going to kind of lock it in because it's all game on after this. It will be full official scoring time. All right, so that is going to be the end of the second practice round. This will begin the official scoring right here. So, like I said, we're going to be shooting an NFAA style 300 round. In this particular event, we're going to have a 20-yard shooting range or shooting distance, 3 rounds, 4 ends per round, 5 arrows per end, for a total of 60 arrows for the day. So, this is about to begin the official scoring.
Like I said, this is going to be the first round of official scoring, and this is the first round of streaming a shooting event for myself. So again, it's going to be a little strange, but I hope you enjoy the ride. I have this super Canon T3i camera with a telephoto lens pointing down range, and I'm probably going to change that out for something a little closer so we can actually get the archers in, and then we can talk about scores as they happen. So might pause for a moment, but stand by. Now, the first end of scoring is being calculated, and we'll have those results here in a moment. All right, stand by. We're going to make a quick equipment change out in between scoring here, so we should be back for the second official round of shooting here. So just stand with us for just a second here. Well, looking at scores for the first end, we'll see that Luke Cook is leading the board, followed by Julia Cook, Jason Brewer, Chris Miller, and Jamie Woodruff to fill out the top five slots. But overall, everyone's shooting really well there. As you can see, just about everybody's in the 20s. Even Autumn is pretty darn close. It's only an arrow off of 20. And this is only her third, I believe, tournament that she's shot. So she's very new to the sport, but shooting extremely well. Well, it's going to be hard to see targets from this perspective, but I can tell you what it looks down there like. Sarah Miller is on fire. She tore up the 10 ring. Chris Miller doing pretty good. Larry Ellis doing pretty good down there. Autumn's hanging in there. This is only her sixth time to even shoot a bow, so she's doing good. It's like John Edsel, he's knocking some tens. It's, it's like Adam Shackelford. He's also raking up the tens in there. Nice, solid grouping. Some of the bell tags are just hard to read from this perspective. The ones that are pre-made for anyone who signed up, and I knew ahead of time that they were coming out. So the others were created when they were here, so it's hard to read the names on who's who. Looks like young Baylor's getting some instructions down there. Little advice from a mentor. That's pretty good. His set looks pretty good also. Excellent. Good second round.
Here is a quick look at our scoreboard concluding the second end. And there's a little shuffling around there. We still see that the Cooks are holding first and second. Luke in first. Chris Miller and Jamie Woodruff moved up there. And joining the top five, we have, I believe, Adam Equilba there. So all the scores are really tight, really tight. We're just talking about one arrow makes a difference between any given score. So it's playing out pretty much as I anticipated right now. A good, strong race. So now we'll join the third in that is in progress.
that concludes the third end of this NFAA 300 style tournament. The archers are going to head down range, get their score and collect their arrows, and we'll see what the results are like. Okay, the third inning scores still have Luke top of the board, Chris, Nadia Prophet, it's in there, Andrew Alcohol's in there, and Julia Cook rounding out the top five. And technically speaking, from scoring, really Nadia Prophet is top of the leaderboard right now with a score of 75 and 10 X's to Luke's 75 and 9 X's. So again, only an arrow difference, 1 X difference between groups here. But again, everyone is shooting extremely well. So we're going to go ahead and roll into the fourth end here. Okay, that concludes the fourth end. And again, archers will go down range, score their targets, retrieve arrows, and return to the firing line. And we'll see where everything stands as they begin the fifth end. All right, I think this is the beginning of the third end. I'll try to get some updates on scores here for you in just a moment. Actually, we'll be going into the fifth end after this. Scoring from the fourth end shows just a little bit of change going on there with Luke regaining first place with a score of 113 X's. That makes Nadia and Julia in second place with a tie, 99 and 14 X's each. And looks like we have Adam Eckelbaugh in fourth with 99 and 10, followed by Chris Miller with 99 and 9. So, again, tight scoring there. Really, everyone's shooting fantastic. Almost all scores are in the 90 plus range for sure. And we got a few back here. Autumn is doing really well again. Very new to the sport. Looks like young Braxton is also putting up a good run. They just need to throw a few arrows down there in that 10 ring, and they'll be right up in the mix of everybody else. So, again, all archers are doing great, and we're going to go ahead and break into the fifth end now and see how things change coming out. That concludes the fifth end. Archers are going to score and pull like before. I know it's really hard to see those targets downrange there, but it looks like everyone did really well. So we'll get the results here of the fifth end, and then we'll be going into the sixth in just a few moments. Stand by. Oh, okay. Catching up now. I was having technical difficulties with URLs. Imagine that. So this is going to be the top of the sixth inning or second round. So after this, we're going to swap positions. If you're shooting top, you're going to the lower. If you were lower, you're going to the top. Let me see if I can see what's going on downrange here. So, a quick look at how scoring stands at the close of the fifth inning. We have Luke in first place with 125 and 17 X's, chased by Nadia and Julia, both tied for second with 124 and 18 X's. And then we have another tie. We have Chris and Jason Brewer at 124 and 13 X's for third. And all of that is just chased by Ecclebon's 124 and 12 X's, and Edsel coming up with 123 and 14. So again, it's just very tight running here. I mean, one or two arrows in the right place can change the entire roster layout. So we'll just keep going. We're going to go into the sixth inning and see what occurs. Looks like Miller's still chasing those X's over there, getting pretty close. Both of them, both Chris and Sarah. Etzel's giving him a good run for the money as well. Ellis is up. If you catch the shooter, the archer next to Edsel, he's definitely laying it on for the X's. Brewer's also laying down some very nice arrows downrange. Right. Jeremy's in the game. Shackelford's doing well. All right, that is the close of the sixth end. Again, archers are going to go down range, score, and pull. And as I stated before, it's a little different this time. If you were shooting in the top, now you will switch and your target will be placed on the lower. And if you were shooting the lower, your target will be placed on the top going into the seventh end, the second half of this tournament. So that will kick off here in a moment. We'll see how scores panned out here as soon as the archers get back. Well, closing out the sixth end, it is really just a shuffle in the top five spots right now. We have Luke still standing strong in first with 150 points, 22 X's. Julia right behind, 149 and 22 X's. We have Jason at 149, 17 X's. Eklabal is 149, 18 X's, and Nadia is 148 with 20 X's, rounding out the top five. But again, all the scores are looking really good at this point, and again, I believe that it will continue to be a very tight competition. So y'all just hang in there, keep watching, and we'll see where the seventh end puts us at. All right, here we go. Here we go. Archers are coming back in now. We're getting ready to kick off the second half of the NFAA style 300 round here at Texas Archery, shooting with Buckwall Bowhunter Archer Club. From what I can tell, looking down range with my knocks, it's a lot of good shooting going on out there. Lots of good shooting. All right, here we go. The beginning of the second half. See Chris Miller bringing on the X's. Now shooting lure. Sarah Miller shooting lure as well. She's chasing X's. Looking downrange to the right there. Third target from the right. That's Luke. Putting the X's up on the board. Like we have Vulcan on the end over here. It's like fours and fives. Fours and fives. Yes, consistently. It's probably a liner, but it could be a four as well. And that will close out the seventh end. We'll repeat the process. Archers will travel down range, score, pull the arrows, and return to the firing line. And we will continue on with the beginning of the eighth end. And of course, we'll see where scoring falls with the end of the seventh here. So just hang on a minute. So we'll have everything plugged in. Okay, so they're on their way back, and we'll have these scores plugged in here very shortly and see what the shuffle is like this round. So give me just a few minutes, and we'll get them put up there for you. Okay, so the results of the seventh end are almost identical. We still have Luke in first place with 175 over 25 X's, as you can see. Julia in second with 174, 26 X's. Jason is still in there, third, 174 with 21 X's. Nadia back in the game, 173 with 24 X's, actually moving up a spot. And Edsel coming back into the top five at 172 with 20 X's. So again, there was some shuffling going on, very slight, but there is movement. And again, I can say that everyone is shooting very well. The lines are very tight all the way down, and one or two arrows can absolutely change where you fall within the ranking currently. So we're going to go into the eighth round here and again see what the end produces for us. So keep tuned in. Okay, the line is ready, and the first of five arrows is about to be sent, kicking off the eighth in right now. that will close out the eighth in. Scoring and pulling will take place. Scores will be entered, and we will see what the shuffle is like going into the ninth in. So, hang on. All right. Well, the eighth brings no change to our lineup as far as scoring goes within the top five. We still have Luca in first, Julia in second, Jason in third, Nadia in fourth, and Edsel in fifth. And between each one of those spots, a single arrow can make the difference. They can take you out of the top five, or they can push you further ahead in the top five. So, again, that was a pretty solid round. No change in stats for the top five archers in this particular round. So, we're going to go into the ninth end here and see if the competition stays as tight. I believe it will. So, y'all just hang in there and stay tuned with us. Okay, that will bring us to a close on the eighth end, or excuse me, on the ninth end. So they'll pull its score, and we'll bring you those results in just a few moments. So we're going to be going into the 10th in after this with only 15 arrows left. 15 arrows. And I'm sure it's going to feel like every arrow's value is going to be double whatever it's shot, because it's going to be critical. It's going to be important to put your best arrow down range here with so few left in this tournament. So we'll see where this ends up at here. Going to have scores up for you in just a moment. So the end of the night brings us very little change, but it does show fierce competition between brother and sister. Luke and Julia duking it out for first and second place. Luke has managed to hold on to his first place position with 225 points and 34 X's, while Julia is right there behind him with 224 and 35 X's. Coming in third currently is Jason with 224, 27 X's. Nadia still holding on in the top five, 223, 32 X's. And Chris has managed to knock John out of the top five with 222 and 22 X's. So again, arrows are few. We're coming down to a close. We're going to jump into the 10th end here and keep fighting it out. Well, here is the bottom of the 10th, and we will have archers going down range to score their targets and retrieve their arrows, returning to the firing line, and we'll get these scores entered and set up and see if that made a difference in our current top five positions. And we'll go right on into the 11th end and said we're getting close. Every arrow counts. All right. Archers are returning from scoring and arrow recovery. I'll have those numbers in the system here pretty soon, and we'll find out what the 10th inning has in store for us. So we're almost there. Almost got those scores ready. As soon as they get back up here. Results from the 10th in show, as you can see, Luke still in first place with 250 points and 37 X's, trailed by Julia with 249 points and 39 X's. Jason is right there in the ball with 249 and 29 X's. Nadia still holding strong at 248, 37 X's. And Chris has maintained his re conquest of the top five position, being in fifth with 247 and 25 X's. So we're going to roll into the 11th end here, and we've got just a few more arrows to go. That will bring the 11th in to a close, and I'm excited to get scores here. It's been again really tight in the top five spots, so we'll see where the 11th will take us to and what we got, if there's a shuffle or we're going to remain in the same positions. Okay, we have the archers are on their way back to the firing line here with their scores. We'll get that tallied up here and find out where things stand going into the 12th and final end. So scores from the 11th end show no positional change in the top five category. We still have Luke in first with 275 and 42 X's. Julia right behind with 274 and 42 X's. Jason holding on to that third place position ever since he officially gained it around the sixth end, somewhere up there in the beginning with 274 and 32 X's. Nadia 273.41. Chris maintaining fifth at 272 and 27. So even though I focus really and I speak about the top five, everyone is shooting extremely well. There's very minor difference in scoring. If you just look slightly beyond what we have listed, again, one arrow could still change that listing. Uh, Jeremy Woodruff is at 272 with 23, as you can see. And Jeremy, I apologize that your name is misspelled on the scoreboard. It's my bad. We'll get that right next round. Next time around. So, and John's right there with 271 and 33 X's. So the scores are there. Arrows count extremely now more than ever. So we're going into the 12th in the final lap here, and we will see how this race is going to conclude. So stay tuned. Don't go away. We are about to get things going here for the 12th and final end of this NFAA 300 style match at Texas Archery and Buckwild Bowhunter Archery Club. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will conclude the 12th and final end and final round within this NFAA South 300 round tournament with Buckwild Bowhunter Archery Club shooting at Texas Archery. Now our archers will again go down range, get their final scores in place, collect the arrows, and we will get that tallied up here and see just how things are going to close out. So, y'all stay tuned. Good stuff coming. So the archers have got their scores from downrange. They're headed back. Their arrow was collected, and we'll get that calculated and tallied for this closeout round. It has been a really, really good tournament here. Lots of really close scoring here. So that means we just got a lot of good archers out there. All of them have shot extremely well today. So we're going to have those final scores here for you in just a moment. All right, looking at the final results here that have come in, we have on top Luke shooting a perfect 300 with 47 X's. Julia is right there, 299 with 47 X's. Jason is right there with her, also tied for a second at 299. However, X's do make the next hop. Jason only had 36 X's. Nadia, 298 with 42 X's. Chris Miller, 296 with 30 X's, but tied with John Edsel at 296. And again, X's do make that next hop, and John has 37 X's to edge Chris out of the top five. It's been a real exciting adventure here, and I'm telling you again, everyone has shot well, so everyone should be pleased with their performance. It's new. I'm gonna jump out there on a limb and throw a shout out to my wife Autumn, who again, this is her third, maybe at max fourth tournament. And I know I've only been able to work with her in archery for about 6 sessions, so I'm really proud of her for being out there and shooting as well as she did. I think she's going to be a real contender if she sticks with it coming up, so hopefully we'll see a lot more of her on the range. And now, here shortly, we're going to jump over into the award portion of today's tournament because not archers do not know exactly where they fall necessarily in the competition, so there might be a few surprises there. So y'all stick around with us, and we'll get that done here in a few minutes. Everybody that showed up and shot, I mean, I saw some great shooting down there as far as looking at the targets. Hey, there's some tight groups down there, so I'm glad I was behind the camera over here. That's excellent. And again, I know it seemed it ran well, but I apologize for being late. Just Mother Nature wasn't on my side this morning. But I'm glad everything turned out great. It was fantastic. So hopefully we'll do this again and hopefully a little smoother. We have
more frequent.
And more frequent.
More frequent. Yeah. We want more time.
All right, we have 5 places, five spots that we're going to call out for this particular match, and that's based on the number of archers that participate in the tournament. So it's always a variable. So I'm going to start out. There was a tie for 5th place between John Edsel and Mr. Obviously Chris Miller over there. However, that tie is broken by X count, and the X count for John was.
Well, the score was 296, and the X count for John was 37, and the X count for Chris was 30.
Congratulations, John! Come on over, do not get a certificate or a flag top ever. That's what I care about right here. That's right. All right, 4th place. Coming in at 4th, we have Nadia. Hey, all right.
Here's some cash money.
298?
Yes.
Awesome, 298.
Wow, well done. Yeah.
With 42 X's.
42 X's. All right, like I said, we don't have a certificate or a flag, but we got cash with the money. The money's always good. All right, 3rd place. Coming in 3rd, we have.
We actually had a tie for 2nd.
Oh, really?
And so it came out as 2nd and 3rd, and the score was 299.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
The score was 299, and the folks that won it was Jason Brewer and Julia Cook.
How many extras? What is it?
Count is going to be the factor, and it is, drum roll.
Jason Brewer with 36.
Nice. Hold on.
Well, it sounds all right until Julia.
Oh!
I never even liked that girl.
Julia had 47. Jason, we're friends.
Come on over. Congratulations, sir. Glad you came out and played with us. Excellent. Good girl. Excellent. You also have one breaker these. Well, I'm gonna do the other one. You go man. Glad you're finished. It was excellent. Hope to see you again out here. Also, some special here. Very good. All right, top shot for the day is going to be.
With a score of 300.
Damn it.
Luke Cook. Also 47 X's.
Nice. Way to go, Luke. Way to go.
Hey, if you can't buy beer, you shouldn't be.
And for that 1st place.
Nice. You're gonna want this. Well done.
Winners up here.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll do the photo shoot in a minute. If you're here now, next month, we do this every 2nd Saturday of the month. We shoot some type of tournament.
Except for?
Standardized. I'm kind of panning things out now. Next month is our 3D month on the Buckwild Bowhunter schedule. It happens to coincide with Scott's 3D tournament, so we're going to merge those two. Your scores for that tournament will be applied to your Buckwild scoring for the year as well if you're deep in the club. So come back out, join us next month, second Saturday here at Texas Archery, and we'll do it again on the 3D floor.
Awesome.
That's in the Bowhunter, 9 a.m., and then open class is at 11, and then there's gonna be a shoot off at 1 o'clock for your firemen, or first responder, or military. There'll be a 1 o'clock shoot off for a buckle, and then at 2 o'clock there'll be another shoot off of the team.
When is that?
That is September 10th.
Second Saturday.
We're
Yeah,
gonna be at Mason with our veterans out there.
All right, sir.